Hi, when I started 3D printing, I quickly realized that I don't really want to be in the same room with a working 3D printer, mainly because of the filament odors and fumes. So I started looking online on how you could build an enclosure and actually took some inspiration in a few options built with IKEA parts. So one of the main features to me should have become this large door, and IKEA actually offers this almost exclusively in the Besta series. The problem with the Besta series is that it's only 42 centimeters deep on the outside, and on the inside it means it's going to be around 40 centimeters. So this is not enough for the A1 Mini, which requires around 52 centimeters. And so I used the Platsa unit, and it's 55 on the outside and it's 53 on the inside. So this means that we are going to combine the Platsa unit with the Besta door. This one is in particular is called Sindvik, and although they're both 60 centimeters wide, the thing is that actually this door is 64 centimeters tall. This is the main feature of the Besta series because it's basically divisible by 64, and you have fronts of 64, also I believe 38 and 26 centimeters. And with the Platza, we usually have modules divisible by 20 centimeters, like these 20 centimeters drawers, or for example these 40 centimeter thingy on top of here. And so basically this means that if you don't want any empty spaces, you would probably need to somehow combine the best modules in a way that they end up summing up to 180 centimeters, because this is basically the height of the module. And this is not actually impossible, but the main issue with it would be that you would need to do a lot of ad hoc work, and also this probably won't be actually very handy to use. So I decided that I'm going to have an empty shelf instead in the middle. And so on the lower part I have 4 Fonnes 20 centimeter drawers. So this is roughly 80 centimeters from the floor. And actually having an empty space here is quite handy, because you could put some stuff here, and also you can store some tools here, and for example use it for storing filaments when you operate the machine, and I think this is really handy. So the second issue is that the hinges that are native to the door are actually not compatible with the whole system on the frame. So the offset for the screws is different, and also the space between the holes are not the same. So you would need to drill 4 holes yourself, and I assume actually this won't be an issue for someone who is building an enclosure for a 3D printer, because surely I would assume you know your ways around drilling stuff in the correct places. But the surprising thing to me is that actually this wall is not solid. So you have some material here and also around these holes and also in the back, but basically everything in between is just empty space. And there is some sheet material, probably it's not plywood, but I don't know actually what it is, and it's very thin. It's like 2, maybe maximum 3 millimeters. And so basically this means that when you are drilling at an offset, if you're screwing something here, this is hanging basically only literally in the thin air with the help of 2-3 millimeters. And so this might not be as durable, reliable and robust as we actually would like, especially I think given the fact that this machine produces quite a lot of vibrations. So let's see how this actually is going to behave in the future. And the last thing I wanted to talk about today is this shelf. So when I assembled this, I quickly realized that there is actually a lot of space above the z-axis, and it's a shame not to use it. And so since this is Besta, oh sorry, this is Platsa, and they have 40 centimeter deep modules, I decided to simply buy a 40 centimeter deep shelf. And probably if you have a table saw or some other means of cutting these shelves, you could ideally cut it maybe to 35-32 centimeters, so then it won't interfere completely with this filament tube. But I don't have such a means right now, so I decided to put it a little higher and to print this guiding triangle. So I'll show you in a second how this works. So at the top position it's quite bent actually, and it's sort of quite stiff, although not like extremely stiff. So I think this is going to be okay. We'll see in the future how this is going to play out. I don't know honestly, but since I don't really print tall stuff, I think this is going to be okay, because this situation is like an absolute extreme, and I don't think that it's going to occur very often.